Hello there, everybody. Welcome to the Budweiser Shootout, the MFNPRA Coca-Cola Custom Cars Series first race. Even though it's non-points, it's the first event we are holding here, with 31 drivers set to take to this racetrack. Clive Burr on the pole in the Pepsi Max Dodge, and to the outside, the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Chevrolet, number 24 of Brandon Gonzalez. Let's get these cars rolling off as we are preparing for the Bud Shootout tonight. If you haven't signed up for this series, you're going to want to do it soon. All you'll have to do is just leave your name, the number car you want, the sponsorship. You can have more than one sponsorship, and also the make of your car. The choices are Chevy, Dodge, Ford, and Pontiac. And you'll want to get those if you want to sign up, you're going to have to do it soon because we have the Gatorade Duels tomorrow, and then the following day is going to be the Daytona 500, and so as soon as that is over, sign-ups are automatically closed. Whoever we have in the field, that's who we're going to have for the rest of the season. So we have 31 cars already. We still need 11 more drivers. But if we don't get that many, that's okay. So we're going to be starting off this race, 24 laps of racing here at this 2.5-mile super speedway. It's a night race under the lights, which means the cars are going to have a lot more grip. They'll probably be able to make moves that we wouldn't expect to see them make in the daytime, so the racing will probably be amped up just a little bit here tonight as the green flag is waving. Season 1 of the Coca-Cola Custom Car Series is underway. And just like that, Clive Burr going to get out in front. John Brace in the GameStop number 11 car right behind him, pushing him, trying to get him out in front, and they're shuffling 3 wide further back there. I couldn't tell who that was making the move down there to the inside 3 wide, but meanwhile, they are up front, the inside line, pulling away. Clive Burr with the lead, John Brace there in second, and then there's the 84 car. That is Dylan, I believe that's Dylan Schwallenberg there on the inside, and also the 56 car back there. But 96 of Clive Burr moves up, and that's going to allow John Brace to get to the inside line. They are shuffling further back, though, 3 wide, almost 4 wide for a moment there, but they settle it out. Racing pretty well right now, as here comes the 84 car down to the inside. That is Dylan Schwallenberg down to the inside in the number 84. He's got several sponsorships on that race car. Sprint on the hood, Aaron's on the side, and the paint scheme in the form of GoDaddy.com, which is another of his sponsorships. And right behind him, you find the 56 car, Mountain Dew Pitch Black. That is James McLeod in the 56, and behind him is Christian Janes in the 11, the U.S. Cellular Ford Fusion. Doug Shears also on that inside line, Nick Eggleston. They are racing 2 by 2 all over this racetrack. Still double. Look at 3 wide further back. 3 wide, about 7 rows back, but they are still keeping it clean and green here at the Bud Shootout. We've only completed 2 of 24 laps, but that's plenty of time for guys near the back to move their way up as the lead goes to James McLeod. He will lead lap number 2. Now we're on lap number 3. He's got a trunk full of Christian Janes, who in turn has a trunk full of the Amp Office Depot Chevrolet from Schwab Racing. That's Doug Shears. Nick Eggleston, you see there in 4th position. He's the only car that's got a paint scheme that's like a split paint scheme. Half his race car sponsored by Van Halen. The other side of his race car sponsored by Kmart. And now Christian Janes has the inside opened up to him. As James McLeod moves up high, here comes Christian Janes looking for the lead. Christian Janes labeled Mr. Consistency over in the NNSCRA series. Here today out in front in the Budweiser Shootout. Now, a big thing about the Bud Shootout, you don't really get any special privilege going into the Daytona 500. The only thing you get is experience and momentum, and sometimes that can really play out in a driver's favor as Nick Eggleston and Martin Zakala start to come up the inside. Zakala now going to leave Nick Eggleston out to dry in the middle line. Here comes Martin Zakala with a trunk full of Mary Cole, and also Todd Nathan coming up the inside line. All going on behind the Christian Janes machine. These guys, they are 3 wide all over this racetrack, all over the backstretch, and still they are not wrecking them. I'm really shocked at that. But then again, remember, it's still early. You probably won't see the wrecks until later on in this event, if we do have any. Maybe they'll be able to keep it clean for 24 laps, but that would be very unusual in a non-points event. And here comes Mary Cole. She is one of 2 female drivers so far in this series, she and Amy Nathan, and she's going to go to the inside and try and become the first female to lead in the Coca-Cola Cup Custom Car Series, and she's going to do so. But remember, this racetrack, they score you as the leader when you come around and hit the stripe. Right now she is listed as the leader, but she has not led a lap. And look at Timmy Pacioli. Pacioli actually started all the way back in the 31st position, dead last. And he's moved up now into the top 5. There you see the Ream Menards Chevrolet, Timmy Pacioli in the 5 coming up on that high side. Or, I'm sorry, on the low side. And directly behind him, that's the 15 car of Jacob Gonzalez. I mentioned this in practice, and I'll mention it again, but I've been really surprised. Modern Warfare has Call of Duty Modern Warfare has seemed to get quite a bit of sponsorship. 3 drivers, rather, have the sponsorship of that on their race cars, and they seem to really like that sponsorship. And the caution is waving. Caution is out. Let's see what for. Oh, there's Brandon Gonzalez, who started on the outside of the front row. He's involved. Kenny McCurry may have some damage. Also, maybe Dylan Schwallenberg some damage. John Brace, Adam Chambers. I don't know if they've got damage or not. I remember, just when I was talking, I did see that cars of Jackson Parker there and Johnny Gardner, they were off the pace, but that may have just been because of the caution. Let's go and see why we are under the caution for the first time tonight. We have reached 25% of the way through this event. Let's take a look now at a replay and see why we're under the caution for the first time tonight here at Daytona. Well, the contact looks like it ends up coming between Daniel Schwallenberg and Alex Filter here, way back in the back of the pack, but here he comes. He bounces down off of Jackson Parker, and then the problem occurs here where the 84 comes back up the racetrack. Yep, Adam Chambers got a piece of it, so did John Brace. Brandon Gonzalez rear-ending the 03 Nintendo car of Adam Chambers, and then Kenny McCurry just nowhere to go. I think he gets some contact from it. But that's why we're under the caution. The car with the most damage, it looks like, is the Brandon Gonzalez machine. Number 24 car that you see back there on the right side of your screen. But I don't know if everybody's going to be okay or not. We'll check in just a moment as we are working our first caution of the night in the Budweiser Shootout. Well, we'll get set to go back under the green flag on lap 10 of 24. Everybody that was involved in that wreck has come back out onto the racetrack. Another driver came down making an unscheduled pit stop. It was the 43 STP Chevrolet of Matthew Rodriguez. Possible engine problems underneath the hood of that car. He has returned to the racetrack, I believe, but he is posted so far on the scoring chart as 1 lap down. Actually, I'm getting the report he has not yet returned from pit road. Let's see if we can find the 43 car. He is obviously pretty upset that he's not going to be in the running for the win here today. There he is on pit road, but something amiss on the Matthew Rodriguez machine. Here's the way they'll line up to go back to green. Mary Cole is out in front. In second is Timmy Pacioli, coming all the way from 31st position. That's a great run so far for Timmy Pacioli in the Ream Chevrolet. Then we've got Brandon Gonzalez. Or, I'm sorry, not Brandon, Jacob Gonzalez. He's in the 15 car in third. In fourth position right now is Jack Nathan. And in fifth right now, Anthony McCurry. In sixth position is Christian Janes. Seventh is Jared Crocious. He's going to be starting on the outside of the front row for the Daytona 500. Eighth position is Todd Nathan. Ninth is Jacob Rodriguez. And in the 10th position is the guy who will be the pole sitter for the Daytona 500, Robert Ban. Let's move back up to the front, and Mary Cole, as the green flag will be waving once again. We'll get these cars back underway. Everybody's still in this race, with the exception of Matthew Rodriguez, as I mentioned. Possible engine problems underneath the hoods of the 43 Chevrolet. Green flag back in the air. It's Mary Cole and Timmy Pacioli to get us back under the green flag. Jacob Rodriguez, or I'm sorry, Gonzalez is there as well, and also the cars of Jack Nathan and Anthony McCurry. As I see back there already, McCurry getting challenged for 5th. Christian Janes going down to the inside of him for that spot. And it looks like Mary Cole, the leader, may have a challenge from Timmy Pacioli and Jacob Gonzalez before we even get down here into turn 2 and onto the backstretch. Will a move be made? The answer to that is maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Jack Nathan just made the move to the inside for the 3rd position. Pacioli takes a peek, and he's there. He's got the run down to the inside. Can he make it stick? The answer to that is yes, he can. He's got the drafting help in the form of Jack Nathan. Timmy Pacioli to the front. Right behind him is the 67. That is Jack Nathan. Then it's the 68 car. That is Jared Crocious. And behind them, then it's Todd Nathan. Now Pacioli, he leads that lap. But now here comes Jack Nathan to the inside. He's got the run, and he's got the drafting help as well. But maybe not. Here comes Jared Crocious down to the inside. 3 wide for the lead, and he's got it. Todd Nathan going to offer the drafting help. Here comes the forms of other race cars, Jacob Rodriguez and Robert Bann. The 2 drivers who will start on the front row for the Daytona 500 are right now scored in the top 5. The leader, Jared Crocious, will start in second in the 500, and 5th place, Robert Bann, will start on the pole. But now he gets shuffled to the high side. To the lead goes the car of Todd Nathan. Jacob Rodriguez there. You know, there's got to be some wondering going on in the mind of Jacob Rodriguez. Remember, he gets his engines out of the same stables as his brother Matthew. I wonder if he's wondering if his engine's going to hold out for this race or not. Meanwhile, here comes Robert Bann down on that inside line. He's second on the inside line. Not for long, though. Here comes the car of Sam Filter down low. Amy Nathan is there down low. Also Clive Burr down low there. And the 88 car from Schwab Racing, that is Logan Wilson. But it's all going on behind the neon green race car with Xbox 360 on the hood of his Ford Taurus. That is Todd Nathan. Now here comes a challenge in the form of Sam Filter. To the inside, he forges, crossing 3 lanes of traffic on the backstretch. And he's going to get the drafting help and the lead off of turn 4. We have reached halfway in this event. Lap 12 of 24 was just posted last time by. Now we'll be on lap number 13. Amy Nathan now trying to become the 2nd female of the night to lead a lap. She is not able to get it at the line, but she does have the lead nonetheless. Amy Nathan in the car number 55. M&M's and FedEx on the hood now get shuffled to the high side. New leader going to be the form of Clive Burr in the Pepsi Max Dodge. They are swapping this lead around like a hot potato. It doesn't seem like anybody's able to hold the lead at all, unless we're running under the caution flag. Here comes Logan Wilson, Anthony McCurry, and Martin Zakala down to the inside. It's going to be Logan Wilson going to the front in the NNSCRA Victory Tabernacle Chevrolet for Schwab Racing. But here comes another entry from McCurry Gonzalez James Racing. That's Anthony McCurry down low. Alex Filter giving him the drafting help. And Arnold Columbia, we haven't talked about him at all. He's third on that inside line, making his way back up. And a car really slow back there. I'm not sure who it is, but there is some damage to his race car. Let's see who that is. There's Brandon Gonzalez. There's Adam Chambers. There's Dylan Schwallenberg. They have damaged race cars, but there was another car that I saw that was off the pace. It may have been the John Brace machine, and it was indeed. John Brace and Kenny McCurry, they're off the pace. Remember, they were caught up in that first wreck, but we move back up to the front. New leader, Arnold Columbia in the 06 Dodge. Target and Panasonic, the sponsorships for him this year. And right behind him, that's the 56 car. And also the 87. Arnold Columbia is the leader. Right behind him, James McLeod. And here comes Johnny Gardner in the Kodak Dodge. Also Nick Eggleston moving up through the field there. He's 4th on the inside line. A lot of new players up at the front that we didn't have about 10 laps ago. Arnold Columbia with about a car length advantage. Johnny Gardner trying to close in. He's got the drafting help. He's got the momentum. He'll probably put a move here. Here he comes. That momentum had to go somewhere, or else the 2 leaders would have wrecked. Gardner to the inside. Columbia up high. Johnny Gardner looks like he'll take over the top spot here as he goes down low. Drafting help yet to come. Now it comes. Jacob Gonzalez there to offer the drafting help. Mary Cole there as well. Anthony McCurry, and also the 97 car back there starting to make his way up. That Walmart machine, we haven't talked about him very often at all tonight, and we'll talk about him in just a moment as the battle is on for the lead still. Jacob Gonzalez going to take that spot over. I forgot to put his name down there. You see B. Gonzalez up there? That's Brandon Gonzalez's brother, but it's actually Jacob Gonzalez piloting this ride. Mary Cole now goes back to the front. Here comes Anthony McCurry there. Also the 97 car is there of Alex Lozano. We didn't talk about him. We'll talk about him right now. He's actually one driver that I've never had the opportunity to see his racing style, but he's putting on a great show right now, moving by Anthony Mercury now for the second position there. And also, look who's making his way back up to the front, Timmy Pacioli. He was gone, now he's back, and he's coming trying to get back to the front, now challenging Jacob Gonzalez in the STP Chevrolet for that third position. But meanwhile, Mary Cole is back out in front. Mary Cole is still the leader. And I don't know if these two cars that I showed you before that were off the pace, John Brace and Kenny McCurry, they may be able to catch up to this pack with all this racing. They've been working together. They're close to the tail end of this pack. So damaged race cars may play in to who's going to win this race. I don't know if they can quite get up to speed with these guys, but it is possible. It's here comes Christian Janes, full head of steam. Holy cow, did you see the run that Christian Janes got down the backstretch? He challenged for second and first before they even got into the turn, and he has taken over the top spot. Here's Daytona 500 pole sitter Robert Band closing in, Logan Wilson and Michael Harvey. We haven't talked about Harvey at all today. That number 21 starting to show his way into the top 5. All of a sudden, the field seems to look entirely different as more cars are here, and there is a lap car, Brandon Gonzalez, up ahead. He may play into this. We may have some 3-4 wide racing for this spot before it's all over. Here we go! Everybody closing in on the 24. Where's all the momentum going to go? Logan Wilson gets held up behind him. Michael Harvey going to go to the front. The whole inside line forges ahead. Brandon Gonzalez holding up the Logan Wilson machine. Now they're 3 wide further back behind the slower car of Brandon Gonzalez. Michael Harvey is the leader. Back in the second position now is Jared Crocious. Now he wants the lead. Crocious will start on the outside of the front row for the Daytona 500, but he wants to be the winner of the Bud Shootout here tonight. Oh, and a big wreck further back! Todd Naton was upside down, literally, on his roof. Oh, Pacioli is involved. There's Todd Naton. He was able to flip back over on his roof. Brandon Gonzalez got a piece of it. So did the car of Martin Zakala. There's Pacioli. Nick Eggleston crunched. Anthony McCurry has been involved. Alex Filter may have also gotten a piece of it. Also some damage to the 97 car of Alex Lozano. Trying to see who else may have been involved. A huge wreck that I saw back there. I actually saw the 3 car upside down. This will help close in, help a lot of drivers close in for the top spot, as it will be Michael Harvey, the leader, at the stripe over Jared Crocious and Doug Shears. Let's see why we're under the caution flag. A big wreck here with only a few mere laps to go. We may be in for a green-white checker to decide this race. Now watch very carefully up top of your screen. That's the lap car of Brandon Gonzalez. He's going to get a tap here from the 97 car of Alex Lozano coming off of turn 4. And I think he kind of turns the 24 down onto the apron. Right there's the contact. Brandon Gonzalez, he kind of saves the race car, but then I think the problem is he's going to come back up the racetrack. We'll see very shortly as our camera is centered on the Todd Naton machine, the car that we saw get airborne and upside down on his roof. Let's see, there are 3 wide here. Lozano comes back up the racetrack. I don't know if he makes contact with Naton or not. Let's see right here. No, I think he's clear of him. But you'll see coming in right side of your screen in just a moment, the 24 car of Brandon Gonzalez. He comes back up the racetrack. There he is, still in the throttle. And that's not going to work out well because you go slipping and sliding through that grass. And here he comes up the racetrack. He comes back up and hits Lozano, it looks like. Yes, he does. He comes back up and hits Lozano. I don't know if maybe there's some tempers flaring there. There could be, but then there's just nowhere to go for Pacioli, for Todd Naton, for Martin Zakala. And here you see the 3 cars going to get airborne and go upside down. There's Anthony McCurry getting a piece of it. Nick Eggleston, oh wow, hits Martin Zakala. That's where he got his damage. And look at that. 3 car up in the air, but luckily is able to land on all 4 wheels afterwards. He's actually up over the Brandon Gonzalez machine. I think Brandon Gonzalez and Alex Lozano may be headed to the MFNPRA trailer after this because there could be some tempers flaring between the 2 of them there because that could have been a retaliation, but we'll find out as quite a few cars that were up at the front just a few laps ago are caught up in a wreck here with just a few mere laps to go in the Budweiser Shootout. Well, here we go. This is it. This is going to decide this race. We have a one-lap shootout to decide it all. Michael Harvey is the leader. Jared Crocious in second. The rest of the top 10 decide this race. Doug Shears, Dennis Jackson Parker, John Brace, Clive Burr, Sam Filter, Amy Nathan, Tom Weekly up in 9th, and Kenny McCurry is up to 10th. Green flag is out. Michael Harvey leads him down. Who's going to win the Budweiser Shootout? Harvey, can he hold on for one lap? Everybody slicing and dicing further back, trying to pick up little spots they can. Jared Crocious now makes a move to the inside of Michael Harvey. Harvey has nothing that he can do. He has to just let Crocious go. He's going to slide back, probably as far back as 10th, maybe even further. Crocious with the lead. Doug Shears there in that second position. Here comes the 44 car of Jackson Parker all of a sudden. He's come up through the field in that Lowe's 44 Geico Chevrolet. Can he maybe win this race? He's going to try and close in. Doug Shears tries to throw the block. Cannot do it. Jared Crocious will start on the outside of the front row for the Daytona 500. Will he win here tonight? Here comes the 44 car of Jackson Parker. Can he close in quick enough? No, I don't think he can. It's Jared Crocious with momentum heading into Daytona 500, winning the Budweiser Shootout here tonight. Wow, what a finish. Jared Crocious starts in second for that restart and will win the Budweiser Shootout. What momentum heading into Daytona, where he will start on the outside of the front row. Unbelievable. What a race. Let's show you the finishing order. As Jared Crocious just comes out of nowhere and wins here today. Jackson Parker finishes in the second position. John Brace in third. Sam Filter fourth. And Doug Shears in fifth. Kenny McCurry was caught up in the first wreck that we had here today and still manages to come away with a sixth place finish with a damaged race car. Clive Burr in seventh. Tom Weekly, we didn't talk about him at all today, and he finishes in the 8th position. Logan Wilson finishes in 9th, so top 10 finishes for both drivers of Schwab Racing. Michael Harvey, who started on the at the front of the pack for that restart, slid all the way back to the 10th position. Robert Band finishes 11th. Christian James in 12th. Johnny Gardner in 13th. Amy Nathan 14th, and Jack Nathan in 15th. James McLeod, Mary Cole, Arnold Columbia, and Jacob Gonzalez and Alex Filter. That's the top 20. Alex Lozano finishes 21st, Jacob Rodriguez in 22nd. In 23rd position, Adam Chambers. 24th was Dylan Schwallenberg. Timmy Pacioli finishes in 25th. Nick Eggleston finished in 26th. The rest of the cars were out of the race. Anthony McCurry finished in 27th. 28th, Martin Zakala. Brandon Gonzalez in 29th. Todd Nathan finishes in 30th. Matthew Rodriguez, he ended up having the engine problem, did not return to the racetrack. He did not declare himself out of the race, but still 18 laps down, finishes in the 31st position. So hope you guys will all tune in when we head to the Gatorade Duels next tomorrow. That will determine who will start in 3rd and 4th, the inside and outside of row 2 for the Daytona 500. And then, after that, the next day we will have the Daytona 500, the Great American Race, the first points race of the MFNPRA Coca-Cola Custom Car Series. Hope you enjoyed today. Hope you'll tune in for the rest of this race weekend. And see you guys later. I'm Seth Cole, signing off.